Good morning, everybody. I wanted to show you some flowers, bushes, and stuff that I've got growing. But first, I wanted to come out here and show you my wildlife pond. It's just a small pond. I didn't spend much on making it at all. I got these rocks and wood and stuff for free. And you see I have some lilies growing in here. And yesterday it was bloomed out real pretty. And I'll show you the video I made of that yesterday. And I've just got a pump, that driftwood that kind of hides the pipe there where the water comes out. It's got some moss growing on there. I have some irises growing, and right underneath there in that little small black container is some creeping Jenny. And a lot of people says that don't come back, but that has actually been in that same pot since last summer. It made it throughout the winter when the water froze and all of that, and it's coming back this year. And here I have the hostas, which makes a great shade for, I've got a little lizard that comes out here and it gets under that hosta, and then it also gets under this little log over here in the evening time, and that's where it stays at night. And here I've actually got some wildflowers that I dug up from along my driveway. I just thought that would give it a good natural look. And over here I've also got some wild, some people think it's dill, but it's not dill, it's dog fennel. It grows wild along my driveway also, and I dug that up a couple of years ago and planted it there. So Corabelle, I like it because of the purple color that it gets, and it comes back each year also. Speaking of wildflowers, I wanted to show you this over here. This is a fern that I actually dug up in the woods a year or so ago. Over in this other little flower bed, I've got some stuff that's came up from last year. And the pink, that's petunia. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the green here is called tick seed. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then over here in this pot, this came back from last year. And this is Sweet William with the little pink flowers. And this is lemon balm, which is good for a lot of things. It attracts pollinators. You can make a tea out of it. Over here is some more Sweet William, or the actual name is Dianthus barbatus. And there's different varieties. Like you seen in the pot earlier, well, this is just a different variety of it. And here around back I have some planted in the ground that's done real good. Along with my owl carving, I wanted to show you that. I hope you can tell it's an owl. I tried my best. This was actually a tree that fell on the end of my home and tore the end of my home off. And anyway, I said, well, it did some damage, but I want to make something pretty out of it. So I plan on one of these days, hopefully, turning this part of the tree into an owl statue and leaving this part like that to where it looks like, you know, it's sitting in front of the tree, and then maybe making like a baby owl statue right there. So I have like a baby, a mama, and then maybe a daddy. Speaking of storm damage earlier, I did have storm damage over here, and these are trees that I had cut that I'm now using as posts, and I'm using them for this rose bush that I planted. This is a climbing rose, and this thing should spread all over the place, and that's why I put that metal post in the middle there along with that netting, because it should reach as far as wide as the posts or the trees that I've got the netting attached to, and then it will climb all the way up that netting, and I may have to extend the netting higher up. Here's some more rose bushes I have. These are not climbing rose bushes. This one's called a drift rose bush, and over here, the red one, this is called a knockout rose bush. And I actually pruned these back in February, and they look so good now. So if you've never pruned a rose bush, if you want to check that video out, I'll post that to the end of this video. These next ones I'm about to show you stay bloom for a long time. And I bought them at Lowe's in small containers like this for $7.98. I planted these about 2 weeks ago, and y'all, they have grown so much. The hosta I already had. But this one is a leopard's bane, and it will multiply and come back. And this is the purple verbena. Now the yellow yucca, some people call them yucca, I got that at Walton's Greenhouse, and I bought it at a separate time. This over here is called Paparazzi Jagger Phlox. And when this comes back next year, it's going to double the size. Here we have more of the Sweet William. This one is a yellow columbine. I believe these are called White Snow Station. And then we have the Cooper's Ice. All of these are pollinators. They attract a lot of bees and butterflies. I'm surprised we don't see any butterflies flying around right now. And then here's a cute little bird bath that I had bought off of Temu. I think I got it for like $15. It wasn't much. The only thing is, if you get something like this, it definitely has to go in a shaded area, because in the sun, this thing gets extremely hot and it would scorch a bird's feet. The Nandina, and this is Chattahoochee Phlox. I really love the purple color. I planted seeds last year, and that's some more of the Sweet William. Now, if you like bushes that's easy to take care of, they pretty much take care of themselves. This is a Nandina, and you see it's got the pretty red colors on it, and they get fairly large. And here's one that's just a green one. And then this one, I'm told, is a Japanese spirea, and it gets these pretty little pink blooms all over it. Gardenia. And this one gets white blooms, and it can grow like 6 to 8 feet tall. And I'm told that this is also a spirea, but I'm not going to say for sure on that. But I like the color of it, that's why I bought it. And then over here, I'm also told that this is a gardenia, but it's just a different type of gardenia that I showed you earlier. And this one gets some of the red berries on it. It makes me think of the holly bush. And then here is another Nandina. And then, I forget the name of this. It's a paper something. Anyway, they say that those blooms and the stems and everything are actually toxic to children and pets. Then over here are some of my shade-loving plants and vines. This right here vine, it will spread all over the place if you let it. And then I have to take these in the winter time. And here's my girls. This is Bree. She's enjoying herself in the shade right now. And there's Stella. And then over here, people say, cut that, that's poisonous. It is not poisonous. This is a Virginia creeper. And the way you can tell it's not poisonous, here's a good view. They say leaves of 5, let it thrive. So remember that. Leaves of 5, let it thrive. If it's got like 3 leaves, then it's probably poisonous. But this stuff is absolutely beautiful, and it grows. You see how tall these trees are? And it grows all the way to the top. I just love it. And then over here is a peach tree that I pruned back in February. And it's done real good also. Look how thick. It's really nice. If y'all have stuck with me this far, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, and I really hope that y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.